Manipur can witness a hung assembly this time. How are you reading Manipur's poll pulse now, 3 days before it's going to vote in phase one?
Yeah, Aditi, I mean, yeah, the tracker did mention that it is going to be a close call. If you are talking about which party is likely to become the single largest party, that is for sure. But if you look into the dynamics of the things that have happened after last election, you will realize that the formation of NIDA and the way the NDS, BJP has worked on its game plan, I think the number of others which are going to or likely to win or are in contest, they are pretty much kind of screwing up the contest already. Say, for example, the Naga party's performance in the hill sense, and so is the case of MPP. I mean, they are all partner already running the government in Nagaland and in Meghalaya together. So the question is not if any party can get the majority. That's a bit long toss because I don't see Congress anywhere right now near the majority figure, and BJP also has gained a lot, but I don't see them crossing the 50% mark on their own. But what I can see them safely placed as is the upswing of the MPP that we are watching big time, and also the minimum number of seats that the Naga party is going to win in any case because of the seats that are dominated with that demographics. So all in all, it's not. If you talk about individual party line basis, it looks a quite divided house, and it looks like a hung house, and it looks like a close contest. But if you take in account the current pre before the election, the current and the post the election, the kind of alliance partners and their numbers that the BJP is likely to get eventually, they will all count as one, and that is where the game will probably get much easier for a BJP led government than a Congress led government. That's what my reading is right now on the ground.
Okay, Utpal, you've been traveling across Manipur. Yashwant's reading is BJP-led government. He's tilting towards, although he sees a close fight. What's your sense of the situation on the ground? What are people saying? How are voters reacting to the last 5 years of BJP rule in the state?
Hi, Aditi. It's almost. I went to Manipur in fall the first week of February. Stayed there for a few days and traveled and interacted with all kinds of people right across political parties, common people on the streets, professionals as well. So it's almost clear for all now that it's going to be another hung assembly with no party getting single largest majority or reaching the magic figure of 31 seats because Manipur has a
Okay.
60-member assembly. But the question now is who will reach closer to 30? Will it be the BJP or the Congress? The BJP is claiming that it will on its own reach 40, which seems to be a very tall claim. Uh, uh, but the unlike in what was initially thought that it could be a much easier road to power again for the BJP. But as the polling dates coming closer, it seems the BJP is not actually having a very easy road.
Perhaps that's why we are seeing all the top brass, including Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Smriti Irani, everybody making a beeline for Manipur, ahead of voting on Monday. Both for the BJP and the Congress. Do you believe this to be a very high stakes battle, and why?
Well, as the elections get nearer, BJP is the party which is out of the scene. Right now, the major contest is between NPP and the Congress. BJP
Okay.
would be a fourth runner and not much. In any case, as our colleague said, it's going to be an election where no party will get an absolute majority. But the main
Hmm.
contest on which party will get the maximum number. That's going to be between Congress and the NPP. And every day the BJP scenario is such that they are not even to come out openly and converse as they used to do, say, 2 months back, for example. And BJP today, they can't even face the general public with the kind of pride and bossism which they were used to doing earlier.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
BJP, even if in our locality, while people come for conversing and all that, BJP, well, nobody is talking about BJP right now. On the people are talking of either NPP or Congress. Congress has the advantage in the mountain areas, so that is where Congress can return the maximum number of seats. But when it comes to the valley, NPP is expecting around 20 seats. And the kind of scenario which is today, it will be very difficult for the BJP to reach the mark of even 15. Whereas Congress and MPP, they will be around 20, 20 plus around, but both of them. Whereas BJP 15 will be a tall score.
It is a very, very important thing for the BJP to win this, to sort of decide its next, or win or lose. Actually, it will decide their next northeast gambit for the other states which are going to polls next year.
This Manipur election is important in the context of Northeast because Meghalaya is going to polls, Tripura is going to polls. In
Yeah.
Meghalaya, NPP is there, and recently the five Congress MLAs, the remaining five Congress MLAs in Meghalaya supported the NPP. So, if in case NPP does well and Congress also do reasonable well, as Professor said, and the real alignment of forces, alliances in Manipur, so it will have an impact in Meghalaya also, and I think it will have impact in other northeastern states which are going to poll, such as Tripura, also in the next
Hmm.
elections. But we should not forget one factor for BJP in Northeast, which is Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, who
Yeah.
has been able to get BJP into power in every state, even though if they had only few MLAs. Like in case of Meghalaya, they had few MLAs, but they are still part of the government. So I think if BJP gets more than 20 seats between 20 and 25, then I think Himanta has that ability to maneuver and get NPP and Nagaland People Front and PF together and again cobble a government. But yes, if what the professor is saying is true, the BJP gets less than 15, so it will become very difficult for him to maneuver.